The vibes are high as the Angels of Delusion arrive on the scene, ready to take on the new Eredu Rising Star event. It is literally the biggest creator competition around, and the girls are realizing that they might have bitten off way more than they can chew. They need to secure a manager immediately because their current setup is not going to cut it against the pros. It turns out our favorite idols only got into this competition because a super enthusiastic fan vouched for them. It is giving major imposter syndrome energy because they did not technically meet the entry requirements on their own. Now they have to prove that they actually deserve this spot and are not just industry plants or charity cases. The harsh reality of the content creator economy is hitting them hard. Their social media page is a ghost town because they have been too busy practicing to post content. They are realizing that in this economy, if you are not feeding the algorithm constantly, you basically do not exist. They are spiraling a bit about their lack of engagement. They are begging the manager to step in and save their careers. They need someone with a big brain to handle the logistics because they are strictly here for the vibes and the music. The manager agrees to help, proving once again that they are the backbone of this entire operation and the only reason anything ever gets done properly. The group drops a bombshell announcement that Soona is going to be the center for the new music video. Soona tries to play it off like it was just a joke or a dare, but the other girls are dead serious. They think it is time for her to step out of her comfort zone and actually take the spotlight for once. Despite the hesitation, everyone agrees that shaking things up is the way to go. Soona is absolutely terrified of being the center of attention, but her friends are hyping her up. They need to get their act together fast because the corporate representatives from the event organizers are on their way to judge their entire existence. The judges finally show up and the vibe shift is immediate. Mr. Miller is serving pure corporate energy, caring more about metrics and foot traffic than actual talent. He is looking at the venue like he is ready to gentrify the entire neighborhood, while the composer judge seems a bit more interested in the artistic side of things. Miller drops the reality check that the Angels are only provisional contestants. They have to pass a strict evaluation and get their engagement numbers up, or they are getting kicked out. It is honestly so rude how he prioritizes commercial viability over their dreams, but that is show business for you. The pressure is officially on. The girls clap back at the idea of using cheap tricks for clout. They want to win based on their music, not by farming engagement through drama or clickbait. Miller is skeptical, but he agrees to judge them on their performance metrics. They have to live stream their rehearsals to prove they are working hard, which sounds like a total nightmare for privacy. The first evaluation goes down, and it is a bit of a disaster. Soona completely fumbles the choreography, and the judges notice immediately. It is physically painful to watch because you know she is trying her best, but the nerves are getting to her. The feedback is brutal, emphasizing that the audience does not care about excuses, only the final product. Despite the harsh critique, the group tries to stay positive. They promise to work harder, but you can tell the criticism stung. Soona is trying not to cry in front of everyone, proving she has grown up a bit, but the internal panic is definitely real. They have a mountain to climb if they want to survive the next round. Hi there! If you want to enjoy more gaming lore without grinding for 60 hours, hit that subscribe button. I do the grinding so you don't have to. Your support really helps the channel. Soona goes into full crisis management mode, breaking down everything they need to do. It is actually kind of impressive how she compartmentalizes the stress into a to-do list. They have live streams, evaluations, and songwriting to deal with. It is a grind, but breaking it down makes it feel slightly less impossible. We get a wholesome flashback about their humble beginnings. They spent their hard-earned money on a glass jar to store their wishes. which is honestly the cutest thing ever. It adds some much-needed emotional stakes to the competition. Filling that jar is their ultimate goal, representing every milestone they have crossed together as a team. The lyrics of their new song start to come together, reflecting their struggle between reality and delusion. It is deep and personal, touching on the fear of being seen and the desire to be true to oneself. You can tell this isn't just a pop song. It is Soona's diary entry turned into a melody. The live stream grind is exhausting everyone. They are smiling for the cameras, but their legs are killing them. Soona is trying to juggle performing with writing the new song, and it is clearly too much for one person. Her friends try to cover for her, but the burnout is looming on the horizon like a dark cloud. The manager visits Soona at her day job, where she is stress-baking treats. She tries to play it cool, but she is obviously eating her feelings. The chocolate cookies she claims to hate are suddenly her favorite snack, which is a dead giveaway that she is not okay. She is terrified of ruining everything for the group. The manager tries to give Soona a pep talk, telling her to just vibe out on stage and not overthink it. The idea is that if she forgets a move, she should just pretend it is an artistic choice. It is solid advice, but anxiety is not logical, and Soona is still convinced she is going to be the reason they fail. Disaster strikes as their online ranking tanks overnight due to a bot attack. A bunch of fake accounts are leaving hate comments, calling them cringe and saying their dancing is off. Soona immediately blames herself, thinking her bad performance caused the hate, not realizing it is a coordinated smear campaign by some haters. They take the issue to Miller, who is absolutely useless. He basically says, "Haters gonna hate," and refuses to intervene, claiming he cannot prove it is bot activity. He tells them to just ignore the trolls and focus on the music, which is easy for a corporate suit to say when it is not his dreams getting crushed. Soona decides the only solution is to work herself to the bone. She isolates herself to finish the song, thinking that if the music is perfect, the hate will stop. It is a classic trauma response, trying to control the uncontrollable by overworking. Her friends are worried, but she pushes them away to focus on the grind. Fairy and the manager analyze the situation. Fairy points out that they cannot calculate a solution without understanding Soona's emotional state. It is a rare moment where the AI admits that human feelings are too complex for an algorithm. They realize they need to address Soona's fear of failure, not just the technical issues with the bots. They run into a fan who means well but accidentally makes things worse. The fan shows them a scrapbook, but also mentions that people online think Soona shouldn't be the center. Soona reads the negative comments, and it confirms her worst fears. It is heartbreaking because the fan was trying to help, but it just validated Soona's insecurity. Nangong snaps and defends Soona, telling her she is the heart of the group. She refuses to let Soona step down, insisting that the group is nothing without her songs. It is a tense moment where tough love meets crippling self-doubt. Soona feels like a burden, while Nangong is trying to force her to see her own value. On a walk to clear their heads, Soona admits she loves the stage but hates the pressure. She feels guilty that her lack of polish holds the other two back, since they are natural idols. She thinks she is dragging them down into mediocrity, which is why she wants to quit the center position. It is pure imposter syndrome talking. Miller shows up again with the worst possible timing and suggests Soona should just stick to songwriting and leave the performing to the pros. He thinks he is being helpful, but he is actually tearing the group apart. He views them as products to be optimized, not friends chasing a dream. It is infuriating to watch. Nangong shuts Miller down immediately. She refuses to compromise the group's identity for a better score. However, Soona is swayed by Miller's logic and says she wants to quit the competition. This leads to a massive argument where Nangong calls Soona a coward for running away from her dreams just because things got hard. The fight escalates with Soona screaming that she has never been happy on stage because she is too busy having nightmares about failing. She yells that she doesn't need their pity and storms off. It is the lowest point in the story, where the friendship seems to be fracturing under the pressure of the industry. Soona ends up in a weird, dissociative state, wandering through her memories. It is like a fever dream where she relives the early days of writing music. She remembers the joy of creating something from nothing and how Nangong was the first person to ever believe in her talent. It is a trippy but necessary journey into her subconscious. The flashback reveals the core promise of the group. Nangong heard Soona playing music years ago, and it gave her hope. They realize that the Angels of Delusion aren't just about being famous. They are about sharing that specific feeling of hope with the world. Soona realizes she cannot just abandon the stage because her songs need her voice. The group reconciles, with both sides apologizing for getting too heated. Nangong admits she pushed too hard, and Soona admits she was trying to run away. They decide to trust each other and the manager. Soona gets a sudden burst of inspiration for the final song, proving that the drama was actually necessary for character development. We find out their secret base is literally inside a hollow, which is insane behavior but very on-brand. They practice there to avoid being seen. Soona explains that delusion is about chasing a light that seems impossible to reach. It recontextualizes their entire group name. They are delusional enough to believe they can make it, and that is their superpower. They confront the judges one last time, telling them they are sticking with Soona as center. They are doubling down on their original vision, regardless of the metrics. Miller and Berner agree to watch the final performance, setting the stage for the ultimate showdown. The stakes are high, but the vibes are finally immaculate. The final performance happens, and while it is not technically perfect, the emotion is off the charts. Even the strict judge Berner has to admit it moved her. It is a victory for artistic integrity over corporate perfection. They might not be the most polished group, but they have the most heart, and that is what actually connects with people. After the competition, there is a weird lull where they feel empty because the adrenaline is gone. Fairy runs the numbers and predicts they will land at rank 110, which means they lose. But then Fairy pulls some strings, or maybe it is just luck, and a higher-ranked contestant gets disqualified for cheating, bumping them into the top 100. They get the notification that they made the cut and have to rush to the award ceremony. In a classic chaotic twist, they are stuck in traffic and might miss their big moment. Nangong reveals she has a backup plan involving a private helicopter because apparently she has connections to some serious high rollers. They arrive just in time to accept the award. Soona gives a speech that is actually super touching. She talks about how the world is dark and scary, but having a delusion, a dream, gives you a reason to keep running. It is the perfect thematic wrap-up, turning their struggle into a message of hope for all the other dreamers out there. Back at the studio, they retire the old wish jar and start a new one. They make new wishes for the future, promising to keep performing together forever. It is the ultimate wholesome ending, cementing their bond and proving that they survived the industry without losing their souls. The Angels of Delusion are here to stay. Gaming lore is long and confusing, but I break it down every week. Subscribe so you never miss a plot twist or hidden detail. Thanks for watching.